practical, you need to gain and develop a range of skills. Then show how you can use skills and tactics under pressure during a game. By the time you use this revision programme, you'll have probably completed your practical coursework and be looking to the third part, the analysis exam. In your analysis exam, you'll have to show that you can analyse and improve the way that you and others play. You also need to know the rules and conventions for your chosen sport. So let's look at the analysis in more detail. In this part of the exam, you'll have to watch a sporting performance and be able to describe in detail what happened. For each of the key skills in your sport, you should know the perfect model. In every sport, there are techniques that can be taught, such as how to serve in tennis or take a throw-in at football. There's a textbook way of performing each technique, and that is known as the perfect model. When you know what the perfect model is, then you can compare any performance with it and spot why things may be going wrong. So where do you begin when analysing a performance in your exam? First, break down the skill into different parts. Start from ground level and observe the movement of the feet, legs, torso, arms, hands and head. Then decide what each body part contributes to the whole movement, action or skill.
Even when we don't know the details of technique, we can still recognise the basic principles. We can also look at how the body moves within the actions it performs.
And what an ace to have in your pocket. Everybody's come to see him fly, and fly he does, and fly he does again.
Notice the balance, the increase in speed, the shape of the body on the slope, the change in the shape of the body in the air, the change again on landing. These all help us to understand the action.
And look at that, he's just about motionless.
Our actions also depend upon mechanical principles. A discus throw, for example. Speed is built up in the rotation of the body. The throwing arm is delayed, adding centrifugal force to the power of the legs and back. The high jumper also rotates his body. At takeoff, he pushes hard to raise his centre of gravity above the bar and to lift his hips and legs clear. Mechanical principles play a big part in swimming. The body is level in the water. The less the incline from head to feet, the less resistance there is. As they enter the water, the arms are bent, so they're used as short levers, which is efficient and less tiring than straight arms. The legs help to keep the body level. The feet are used like flippers, providing a constant source of propulsion. Although it's possible to analyse the principles behind movement, in reality, every action is created by the performer. Whether sublime or ridiculous, or just average. It's important to recognise what different actions require and to identify whether the performer is equal to the activity.
Observe the performer several times from different angles to decide where the weakness lies. Get to know the perfect model for the skill and the way it's applied in the sport. Compare the performance of the student with the way that you know the skill should be performed effectively by a top professional. And finally, make sure you know the rules of the sport in question. Before your exam, read coaching books, visit the website for the sport, and remember, watch the sport on television. Of course, the TV pundits use slow motion, freeze frames, and a whole variety of camera angles to help explain players' skills and tactics. You won't have these, but what you can say will be very similar, so pay attention to the way the skills and action are discussed. Here are more examples from TV sport.
That's Beckham. Oh, it's in! Practice makes perfect.
Centimetres. Can she do it? Oh! Well.
Man down there. Took ages to come down, and Angus Fraser has got the breakthrough. To his left, chance for Hereford, Viewings! Oh, an opportunity goes by. He could have passed to one of two colleagues, but you can forgive him as the top scorer for going alone here, but look at this, it's a really bad mistake. And Viewings, well, Tim Flower's able to gather.
Do you think you could analyse what happened there? If you do, then pause the tape and have a go. You can rewind and watch the action as much as you like. How did you do? Well, let's see how Alan Hansen analysed that on Match of the Day.
And certainly good players started to make mistakes here. Matt Elliott picks this up. Lots of space, but, you know, instead of playing it up the pitch, he gets dispossessed. And I'll tell you what, a little bit more composure here, and Leicester in a bit of trouble. But Flower saves comfortably.
You should watch a chosen sport as often as possible, either live or on TV. You should watch to see the different tactics the teams use and see if they change them at half-time. Watching games like this will help you with the analysis section of the exam.
What will the exam be like? Your analysis exam will take place on the sports field, tennis court, pool or gym. You'll watch a performance from a team or an individual, and then you'll be asked questions on what you've just seen. In the rest of the programme, we'll show you some examples based on real analysis exams, and we'll have some more action from the world of sport. Here's where you'll find the examples.
In the examination, you'll be asked to analyse another person's performance. You're not required to answer immediately, so think about your answer before you say it. And give the most detailed answer possible. This will get you the highest marks.
Let's see what it's all about. The moderator in all our examples is PE examiner John Cowley. Our first analysis sport is basketball. The performer is Sam Robinson, with Eric Jorgensen answering the analysis questions. First, we'll look at a layup shot. In the layup shot, the perfect model shown here by England international Neville Austin involves dribbling the ball forward, and then as you transfer the ball from left to right hand, you place your weight on your left foot and jump, aiming the ball for the top right-hand corner of the square on the backboard. If you were to approach the basket from the other side, then you'd perform a mirror image of this and use left hand and left foot, and so on. Over to Sam and Eric.
Can you tell me what the perfect model is for Sam doing a layup shot?
Well, Sam would probably want to run in at the right-hand side of the basket since he is right-handed at a 45-degree angle. He'd dribble up and then take 2 strides towards the basket, leaping up towards the basket, trying to hit the top right-hand edge of the little box on the backboard, which hopefully makes the ball go in the basket.
Now, when we were watching him do it, there were a couple of occasions when he was shooting and the ball was hitting the ring. How would that have been?
That would probably be because he's running in the basket too quickly, and if you approach the basket too quickly, you tend to get under the basket. Once that happens, you hit the ring more often.
So what should he do then?
You should slow down his run up, maybe shoot from further back.
Yeah. Now, in a match, would you consider the layup shot to be a pressurised shot or an easy shot?
In a game situation, it's a fairly pressurised shot, yes. Although the opponents can't legally touch you, they can put lots of pressure in and they can try to block you, so you need to make sure you're accurate every time you do it.
Now you've got to try for yourself. Watch the next clip and see if you can answer the following questions.
Gary Payton for America. Ray Allen, gathered in by Ainikis. The United States have won 11 of the 14 basketball gold medals that have been available, a silver and a bronze, and then they missed 1 game through the boycott of Moscow in 1980. It's fair to say they've dominated. Masiulis. And Tominskas.
Question 1. Here, the USA and the Lithuanian teams are playing different systems of defence. Can you name the system that each is playing?